denial, and now they're unwilling to give it away. Janna going to be added to that pool once again, and one final ban to come through from Longzhu for first pick.
The Janna ban makes so much sense because either they'll be taking Lulu at first pick if it's available, or they can return to the Sejuani. They basically force a ban, force the hand of Longzhu, and they can just take the Sejuani that so far has looked very impressive from Ambition.
It has, nobody's been able to punish it early on. It's such a big part of this team. Ambition playing very well so far. A lot of good team. But because Jarvan might go right back to it, just has not had that effectiveness.
Priority and getting maybe a comfortable mid laner in. Of course, we know the Malzahar is still up. That was so scary before, but I feel like Taliyah can do reasonably well in the matchup. Taliyah going to be grabbed up for BDD. Comfort for him with the Galaxy table. And Jarvan, I think, still likely to be an early pickup here.
Ultra comfort because as well, if he does go with the Gragas, they're cycling through options here. Certainly a sort of comp that might be put together. Be a very high priority on the Varus with only the Xayah and the Kalista off the board.
Yeah, Lulu definitely,
Yep.
Lulu definitely has performed extremely well on this Tristana. And I'm curious too. Whoa, actually.
Yeah.
They're going to go right back to...
If it's not broken, don't fix it. Of course, the Taliyah's gone crown champion, the same champion, but Samsung Galaxy only adapting when the champions are banned away from them more often than not. It's like, look, this composition is working. We are out team fighting and Ambition on Sejuani's making the early game work. There's nothing wrong with this.
This time around, though, as you talked about, Longzhu, they can have a lot higher pressure here. They can draft for a lot more power, a lot more control. Taliyah here has been huge for BDD. We mentioned how big of an impact Crown had in the last game, but BDD during the regular season was a monster.
And I love the point you make there, Kobe, because it felt like the Taliyah was actually the thing that allowed them to straddle the line between, hey, we're going to be really powerful in the late game fights with the Sejuani and the Taric, but also they had the double roams of the Taliyah and the Shen. Having both those things meant that Longzhu really had no time to act. So not having that here, Samsung needs to find an early game pressure point somewhere to at least stop Longzhu from just playing the standard Longzhu style at least one game in this best of 5.
They can picture themselves. Of course, we saw the animation of Gragas over Jarvan, a bit more reliable engage. Now that Jarvan's gone, of course, as well. There's still more to be played that Con can bring out, but they obviously know the counter pick available for the red side for a good matchup for Con. They're trying to get rid of the scariest options. And
what it means also is it's putting Cuz on comfort. Jarvan is away from comfort for him. They want to use the last pick as a counter pick, at least on paper, playing around with the Trundle. They're just going to lock in Trundle. I guess it could be a flex. Gorilla has played it on support, but not in Korea. We have not in 2017 had the Trundle support.
But Trundle is good into Taric, mainly versus melee matchups. Sure, he's not probably a sense user. Maybe he does the Bond of Stone run. That's, of course, a possibility, but we know Longzhu not looked at the item. So Lissandra gonna come out in the mid lane for Crown.
It's an old favorite. He was a big Lissandra player years ago. We have had no Lissandra outside of Kuzan once or twice.
And it, again, answers that question we had before. Of this hard engage, utilizing Taric effectively requires that you have multiple forms of...
I can never resist an invitation
Now they've got Lissandra who can also go in with the Shen, with the Sejuani. This is, again, Samsung with a very similar strategy and kind of expecting the evolution, the adaptation of Longzhu to take away the Taliyah, yet having the answer prepared.
It does mean more playmaking here on Longzhu. Of course, Prey and Comfort Varus can start fights, BDD the same, Cousin the Gragas, as well as Gorilla's Rakan. So Longzhu can turn up the pace here in a matchup where it feels like they've been out-tempoed by Samsung Galaxy.
Now, Lissandra, let's think about it. Fell out of the meta because the effective range against most champions could really be punished, would often look for wave clear and be wave cleared on and harassed. In this matchup, Taliyah will have early push power, but Lissandra has the teleport, has very instant zone control, either with the offensive stun or just going for the self-ult, which in the late game will be very common. So trying to match fire with fire, it still should be front foot for the Taliyah in the early game, though. And the early game, to me, is the breaking point. If this early game goes super duper even, it's looking like Longzhu, even with the Taliyah, may find a brick wall.
There's so many interesting things here. With, Lissandra ultimate, she could use it on herself to buy time for a Taric ultimate to come down. If they could sync up those timers really well, that could be a good combo. But on the other side, there's a lot more control here for Longzhu this time around, with the ability to move champions around. With Gragas and Taliyah, there's a lot of displacement. So the options are definitely there, and Longzhu could kind of craft a better team fight for themselves.
Absolutely. 9 champions have hard crowd control in these competitions right now. It's going to be fun watching to see who can do what. And this might be the last time we see Summoner's Rift on stream here today. The blue squad, Samsung Galaxy, in their home colors this time around. The unexpected 2-0 start against the Korean champions in Longju game. But Ambition has had one of the series of his life right now. Great early gank pressure, good kills off in the mid lane. Proud bringing out his Lissandra now as well. Add a bit more spice.
You know, all the eyes are looking at Longju now. What will they show with their backs against the walls? On the precipice of being eliminated here, so surprisingly, so early. Again, as you mentioned, Prey and Gorilla do have crowd control. They have initiation in their hands. These are the veteran players. The veteran players need to be drawn on in moments like these.
Biggest power from that crowd control will especially be at level 6, where they can turn things on instantly, and the Cosmic Radiance, the exact zoning, the exact team fighting, the Shen reaction may not be as valuable as it will be as the game goes on. So I'm looking to Longju to really focus what they can make happen around level 6. There's no inevitability about this game as it goes on.
See, Samsung Galaxy going to look for cheeky movement in the bottom brush for now. See if they don't find anyone here for themselves, as looks like Ambition may very well start at his own blue buff. Pretty easy for Sichuan to do so. That will indeed be the start, it looks like, here for Ambition. Prey, Gorilla also going to be in a similar boat, going to lane at the very start, as Khan's Trundle, or maybe BDD's Talia going to leash for Cuz on the Gragas. He's starting Raptors already, so here comes the attempt. 2v2 in the bot lane, and no attempt to be had. A little bit of poke damage out. None's going to land. Couple of love taps at a core JJ.
Flexibility to start at the advanced brush, because Ejwani, their single target ability to take camps, can equally happy start blue or red side. Does give the information to Longju, though, that's most likely a top side start for Ambition.
That's really wave clear for Crown, 6-3 in farm. Some of this, I think, being that BDD had spent a little bit of time leashing, but anyway, he's going to be okay for himself. And there's level 2, the attempted poke coming around, and of course they can track the jungle pathing of Cuz. He will walk by the board shortly.
Yeah, I love the bottom lane pushing up here, getting that deep forward. Even if they just see it move and just see a little bit of information on where it is, does buy some time. Ooh, really walks forward to dodge the CC from Gorilla.
That was pretty crucial because he wasn't level 2 yet, so no rock shift to come through. That could have been a small window for Longju to use. Couldn't quite make it happen, though. Khan, you can see, being pushed around a bit early on, using his one and only potion. And Kube out trading again, gets another grasp trigger off.
A lot of fans would have been surprised. The game plan largely today was for space control champions, tanks for CC-wise, and Ruler really focused on with a lot of these drafts, because Prey has had the advantage over Ruler at Worlds 2017. It's been a 4th tournament for Ruler after an excellent season where he was a picture of consistency and ambition. That feels good.
Yeah, he gets level it as well. It's the stun. Here comes Crown. Cuz gonna have to flash against the wall to get away. It looks like Bottom's quite ready for it.
Bottom lane control, bottom half of the map control here early on for Samsung Galaxy. See if they can actually translate this into some extra advantages, into some gold values.
Really possible right now. Currently, the gold is in the favor of Longju, the tune of 200, although it doesn't mean a ton. Khan currently the big leader here in this one, 20 to 13 in that top lane, but part of that is because he's pushed. Gets level 4, goes down to put a ward down, drop the Scar's move as well, and help track to see what Ambition could be up to. He wants to keep his pressure going. Cuz not losing a beat. Flash down, but still able to grab the Scuttle Crab.
We'll see CS lead opening up for BDM, and that will continue. As we mentioned in end of picks and bans, does take a few levels and items before Talia can really match the wave clear tempo there that Talia Q was able to create. Not just top side, but tanking a Shen is optimistic.
Right now, Court today again getting some deep wards across. Constantly, these players trying to make sure they can track what the opposing junglers are up to when they're in fog of war. That's when you're most afraid. And of course, all these camps right now on field and waiting to respawn. So that's just yet.
Very curious as well to see how Crown plays with the teleport, because usually we'll see Lissandra, spam spells early on, try and wave clear, push out the waves very quickly, hope to get those backs off, but sometimes she'll be contesting these waves and have to use the teleport to get back to lane. Currently, though, Crown was able to get a pretty decent amount of space. Ah, there goes the teleport. So the early game teleport is forced out due to the mana issue. As well,
Gragas, a bit of fight on the top side. They're going to immune some of the damage. Nice doesn't get attacks off. Now a stun on to Prey. Quick shield coming out to buy some time, but still lower health on this Varus. Samsung Galaxy doing quite well on this 2-on-2, and Prey and Gorilla are lauded by almost everyone as maybe the best bot lane in League of Legends. I would say almost inarguably the best bot lane in South Korea, and right now, QuarterfinalsGame and Ruler are measuring up to them so well, doing beautifully in this 2-on-2.
In the 2 versus 2 and in the team fight.
Yep.
So critically in this series, they have performed extremely well. We'll have to see if Gorilla's able to get any roams off, or if Khan will have those huge initiations that we've seen from teams like SKT that can change the entire face of the game.
My focus is on the tug-of-war for vision around mid-side. There's those double control wards. If long as you can ever get those, especially bot side, those turret dives bot side, or at least ganks onto the duo lane, so much more reliable. So far, Samsung do control the bot side of the map.
On a ward right now, and a control speed. He's going to rip into this trinket for himself. He actually can track him pretty reliably with his own trinket, but here comes the first attempted invade. Again, these ultimate starts when available. Crown has his, and Ambition can try to take it away. Gets it. Down the Gromp is his. Knock up. Nice rocket jump, the Ruler. Again, timing it well. Not terribly hard to do as long as you're paying attention, but still important that he landed this one. With lower health, and of course they know there's the re-engage possibility. Courtney Davis with the shield, the heal, and Ruler was fine.
War continues. It hasn't necessarily been as lethal as it was in the previous game. Hit on a couple of times how important mid lane priority is for both of these champions. Crown does not want to be following second because he did use his teleport, like you mentioned, Kobe, to try to pressure in the mid lane. Ambition is playing so much on the front foot in this series. Never thought you watch the Worlds would not have suggested it. And his ability to suddenly step up seemingly out of nowhere, that really is why Ambition is highly regarded by analysts, because he has those weird intangibles that make him a superstar.
Harass still coming through in the bot lane. You're seeing +2 currently, although that'll be answered easily enough by Prey. Should be 60 or so apiece. Farm-wise, these bot lanes are equally, so you can't give too much of a lead either way. Because waiting around the wings, reveals for a control ward, and they're going to go for his second recall of the game.
Are we connected towards?
Prey pops barrier. He is so afraid of going down. 300 health left on him. Then the re-engage from QuarterfinalsGame. Not going to be had. Here comes a rock jump forward, though. Ruler going to burn his escape tools. Here comes Shen, though, back into the fight. It's going to be a 3v3 as Gorilla forced to run away, and looks like a pillar has stopped the Shen ulti.
Yeah, just the shield enough to scare them off there. Even though Khan is able to interrupt it on the top side, Ambition now has gotten off a base and is back out on the field. Level 6 available.
Look for this one, cuz out of mana on this. He's got to look for a way out as BDD looks to rejoin. Won't quite cut up for JJ, but the damage output might be enough. Comes 4 shots to him, and one more auto might be lethal. The heal comes in, and the re-engage for Crown puts him away. Keeps his teammates alive. Cuz dangerously low, smites for health. Here comes the backline act. There's Ambition now on the wrong side of this battle, finding a bit more. They're running back towards the team. The blue buff still whittling away, but looks like blue will be secured by Samsung Galaxy.
They're able to fight their way out and take the blue buff prize in the end, even without the Stand United having been burned earlier. Samsung survived.
A beautiful passage of play that was bloodless, but still advantage Samsung. Picking up the blue buff, they were first to contest. So close to the kill in mid lane as the heal charge kept QuarterfinalsJJ alive. Crown was second to get there, understandably, still no teleport. The support not going down. It's no even gold.
A little bit more mana, a little bit more juice in the game. But such a valuable resource early on, and nothing left.
Reset back on the game. Equal gold, pretty much equal experience across the lines. Levels, one small lead for Ambition, currently 6, so Cuz is not, but it shouldn't take too long. And this guy on your screen right here, this Sejuani, 3 games in a row. It is just worth repeating time and again how much better he has been in the knockout stage, not being picked off, getting the ganks up successfully, night and day.
Look, it's so hard to explain why Ambition is highly regarded, why I respect him as the best jungler in this tournament based on the top 20 rankings, because he can have passages of play, as the 0 kill involvement in the first 15 minutes shows, for long stretches that make you go like, wait, why is this guy great? He's not the explosive jungler that Peanut was at Worlds last year, for example. But his ability to really be smart in the mid to late game wasn't a factor during the group stage, where early game he was falling away. But he can also step up, read his enemy jungler with a couple of days to prep, actually have a system in place to shut down what has been so good for him.
And he
of players who's almost been replaced as well. The spring split at the beginning of this year, Samsung Galaxy signed Haru. And Haru played about 3 times as many games as Ambition did throughout the spring split, and Samsung Galaxy did pretty well for themselves. I think a 3rd or 4th place finish there in the LCK. And then in summer it changed, and Ambition was getting the start more again. He was actually being much more successful as a player, getting the starts here at Worlds as well, but has regained his composure very clearly this split. But again, a player who was almost replaced, doing so well at Worlds now. Now the fight continues in the bot lane, the ulti coming across, and won't be too much there, as this is going to be a dissuasion of damage. Longzhu forced to run away, but no summoners down.
Yeah, even though Cuz is there, when the Taric ultimate comes down, they don't want to go for any more trades. Ambition is in the river, always mirroring here, and he's ready to pounce.
Advantage for Longzhu is that An has continued to farm up. He is still a win condition in the 4-1 later as the game goes on, and no proactive Stand Uniteds to punish them so far.
They're very ready, and that's why Longzhu are giving them something to work with here, setting up all this vision because they have this advantage. Stand United is available, the teleport also available, and that's why Cuz is just waiting for a counter game.
Yeah, just yet. 600 gold lead though, Samsung Galaxy starting to throw their advantages across these roles. Cuz gonna face second to Ambition. Suddenly it's gonna be 4 versus 1, and there's simply no way out. Explosive Cast buys a second, but it doesn't matter. First blood for Crown.
Really nice proactive ultimate usage there from Cube. He can just go back to the top side as well and not lose his turret. Wasn't sure about the damage output, but they had just enough as Lissandra came.
League of Legends, you always have to watch your cooldowns though. It's a bit of a seesaw here because now Longzhu have a Talia ultimate and a top lane teleport that they could use. And Samsung are left with just the teleport here from Crown.
Oh, wow! Crown, of course, ulti down for the roam over, has to get pushed out of the lane, and maybe BDD finds something for Longzhu.
The Ward did see Ambition go over the back of the Dragon Pit, so Longzhu know that he's there, and they're kind of just walking over leisurely.
He's seen now, actually. He's on a trinket now. BDD roams down, says, you get off that mountain train.
Yeah, they saw him go into Baron, so into the Dragon Pit. They knew he was in there, and because he was able to push Crown out of the lane, BDD can just walk over, added pressure,
He also throws the teleport out, so another advantage pressure-wise from Longzhu is the ability for Crown to instantly join a fight bot side. Little wins that you get from pressure and turn into bigger things, but for now at least, gold lead to Samsung.
Little leads of them actually using the disparity right now. As you mentioned, Samsung Galaxy using all 3 of their globals for now. Longzhu have both of theirs, meaning the Talia ultimate and the Con teleport. Again, it has to be used in the next 3 minutes or it doesn't mean anything.
And it is difficult because look at all the vision that Samsung laid down. You know, all this priority that Longzhu let them have because of the Shen ultimate doesn't matter. Because in the end, it's Ambition waiting in the brush to ambush Cuz, and they get the easy first blood.
Control was when topside. Set up there to charge out topside, but not the sort of defensive vision bot side to actually see Ambition coming. Long time. 3 years. Understand what's that? I believe 1 game off Kuzan on Lissandra from Jin Air, but otherwise so not a big pick in the meta after the last round of nerfs.
It's always fun to see what kind of innovations have been put into builds over the course of time. Proto Belt not really that rare on Lissandra builds I can remember. And of course cooldown boots pretty common as well. You expect to see Zhonya's Hourglass up there in that build, and something here afterwards. The move up to BDD gonna be pretty easily secured. Keep this pressure going. Another game obviously full of Mercury treads, but you've got Lissandra, Shen, Sejuani, Taric as well. Great recipients of tenacity.
Double duty from the Protobot in lane, can just use it to fast push 1 wave that previously would take multiple rounds of Q, but also is part of a burst pattern with her ultimate offensively, so it does mean that she can have lane control 1 side of every, say, 3 minion waves. It will be much more difficult for her otherwise.
I also love Lissandra as a champion simply because while she does have, you know, invulnerabilities that she can use, she doesn't have a large health with this. And she's very vulnerable to being burst down within crowd control. You know, so, like before you can get your ultimate
No
off.
one will
Especially if you don't have good
We're going to adapt a little bit. Wits and first, of course, again, respecting all the magic damage first, available Crown being the most notable use of that on the Lissandra. Give that one away also heavy to keep yourself alive through the same boat. So it's like both healing build and alive to the roam through gank. Look at this. After the bot side, if you saw Crown down, some of it doesn't matter. BDD again. 11 on the Talia. Going equal in farm. Crown is simply doing better this game than BDD, despite being on a champion. We haven't seen him play in a year, and BDD being on his most comfortable.
A good read on the situation. Crown obviously had this in the pocket previously. They were taking away the Talia, banned away as well one game this series. Now just something to be cooked up over the passage of time. It's one of those things where as the meta evolves, you remember, hey, actually, it can be a decent situation. It's not just, hey, Lissandra counters Talia. Certainly not true. But the way they're using it fits the game plan. In the late game, big criticism for Lissandra is one Mitzi, that's also fine. But there's 3 others. That's not going to be a fact.
Adaptation is so incredibly important on the world stage. We already saw, innovation take effect.
Oh, not quite gonna do some of this one, but they could get some more of the damage on this as the ulti comes across. They're all invulnerable. Gorilla stays alive, but Prey not gonna be as likely, maybe. Barrier Pop staying alive a bit longer as it re-engages here. Cons teleport there as well, and Crown, again, first to the scene. BDD gonna walk back to mid doing nothing.
That is gonna walk through wards here, and all of that, all of Samsung throwing everything down on the bottom lane should be answered easily, and the defense right now, there should be no turrets going down. The big difference though, Shen obviously gets 2 globals because he has his own teleport, and with Juve recalling and heading right back to top lane, Khan now will be left without a way to join the next fight.
We talked a couple minutes ago as, hey, BDD still has ult up. We'll wait for his next bracket to play while cooldowns are down. Those cooldowns are backed up. That's why we see a second phase check here. Still no momentum or movement for there to be a weaving wall usage. Nice disengaged cast from Kaz as well.
Samsung, they get the flash and barrier out of Prey, the teleport out of Khan, plus control of the bottom side. So in the end, they do get an objective, not the first turret, but they do get the mounting trade.
They were 5-1 and Summoners on that fight. We watched the top lane battle continue. Should make it 6-1. Of course, Khan uses teleport as well. So huge advantage. Mountain Drake on the backside as well. And Samsung Galaxy, every game starting to look more and more the same. They are in control from almost start to finish. We've yet to see Longju be really proactive enough outside of a couple of lane kills to BDD in the first game as Khan using his ultimate to stay alive a little longer. Might have the damage though, with Spirit's Direction to buy some time. Killer comes in for a bit more. Few more else is doing the flash and chase! And that could be exactly what Longju needed. Khan with the solo kill.
Will Ambition be able to chase him down? There's a ward here in the tri-bush, so the answer is no, but that is the Khan that people wanted to see on the world stage.
3 games of this series finally gets that big confidence booster of the solo kill. All of the action previously on bot side didn't even take a row, which is a solo play. But that's extra information for Samsung that's to react to on the top side. It's also the impetus for BD and Prey start playing bot side.
With some gold starting to go back the way of Longju, you have to caution for Samsung, while they have so many proactive tools, they have all this global pressure, all these burst tools and crowd control. Later on, once you get to the later, longer fights of the game, there will be a bit taxed to find some extra DPS. Here though is another look at the massive healing that you get with Trundle. The ultimate, you'll be able to shred resistances. Yep. Tons of healing back on the frozen ground there as well. He's able to turn that fight around.
All that even through Bramble Fetch. Look at Kube's items. There are no new approaches there. He had the Panic Hydra and Bramble Fetch last time as well. It's not getting better for the Shen. The Khan keeps stacking up again, looking for more to do. This time gonna kill the wave behind the turret. Hope to find some more pressure for Shen to wait for that easily though.
Samsung are accepting this. They have 4 control wards bot side to continue to deny BDD making a proactive play bot side. And once again, a re-invade onto the blue buff. Davis Wall continues to be held onto. Second deal here.
With the passive, there you go. 100 gold picked up. The blue buff once again stolen away. Samsung Galaxy got a lot of pressure on this bot side. This Tristana, the rest of that squad outlaning Prey and Gorilla.
Again, they have to give up this territory because while Khan is able to push back the turret, that means that Juve is free to use Stand United whenever he wants, and there's no teleport for Longju to answer, so effectively bottom.
Knockup is there, getting a bit lower. The Charmin, the barrier pop is going to be a re-engage back into the turret. Can they find the kills? The ulti pop for the Shen. The ultis are there, the shields, he's going to stay alive, and the stuns. The toss coming across, Cuz going to drop for the first one. And look at the Goomba stop forward. Ruler wants a bit more. BDD wall only buys them the time to run away. 1-0 Samsung.
As we're about to say, effectively bottom lane is Shen's domain, and Samsung are able to force the fight that they want under the turret. Even though it could have been a slightly cleaner, they do get the kill, and again, instant teleport back up to top side.
May not be clean, but it's calculated. All the vision was put down. They knew they wanted to play bot side. They're denying BDD any playmaking whatsoever. And I'm looking at this Talia and being reminded of a lot of the risers we've seen earlier in this tournament, who were supposed to pick up a couple of items, shove, and then roam, but they were being clogged into lane, just wave clearing, watching the game be played around them. That's kind of the story with BDD's Talia this game. Samsung got the most out of the roams last game and have shut down the roams.
Fully expecting to use Snake United here. They get engaged on by Gorilla, and then the Terran ultimate hits as they get knocked under the turret. Here, I wasn't really expecting Ruler to use the early Tristana ultimate, but it ended up not mattering too much as they just changed focus and they still got the kill, just killing the front line instead. But I don't know about the communication there. Maybe they would have rather had the kill on the Prey. Regardless, barrier came out and there was no burst.
Yes.
It means this is still a Samsung Galaxy winning in the early game, finding the plays to be made across the map. Crown's Lissandra has Leander's Torment done now as well. The Dark Skill 2 stack is not too bad as well. Infinity Edge not too far for Ruler. Scaling continues here. The Ono team.
And even more critically than the kill that Samsung get down there is the turret kill. The first turret bonus that they get. You just see the flood of control wards go through Samsung's inventory after they finish that fight. You know, all of the control wards take over, work it up to the top side, move Ruler over there, static shift and BF sword here, ready to control the minion wave, and Samsung moves in to control the quadrant.
Khan may maintain his 1v1 matchup against Shen. It was after Shen had already pushed the minions all the way, so any sort of split push I think is going to take a lot longer to set up. More time for Samsung to get turrets very, very low, top side and mid side. Longview again. But this whole game in neutral. They must be so desperate to turn on the style that we know they can. But they can't on the day. Really?
Case here, the best of 5 is how you play. You play the match right now at Samsung Galaxy. Much superior squad is mid lane out of the call as well. 0-1 turret. Now the turret over here. It's a to go. Top side, but with a static shift has plenty of wave. You can see even so he's literally alone 1v2 with the rest of his team 10 seconds away. There's no even attempt of engage from Gorilla. They know that Tristan is safe. They know Ruler's a good enough player, and he can do anything he wants. I do think that they should reposition him maybe for this Infernal Drake, because Samsung right now are running with so much pressure. They shouldn't give up any control there. It should be very easy for them to reallocate. There we go. We see the bottom lane going back down to the bottom side. Then we'll go back to the top side. And even though this time around Khan doesn't have teleport, they've been able to eke out the speed as well as all the controls that we've been. They take control of the trade though real quick. They're leaving Frey in the top lane. Now that turret was already low to all of Khan's hard work, but no one's going to help push back Kube. But Kube doesn't know that and doesn't want to contest for this turret, so it will be an outer turret picked off, although Samsung Galaxy, almost by default, Kube gets the
Not often a trade you'll make at 23 minutes with Baron up. No realistic Baron from Longview. They will get the Infernal, the high value associated with that. Roam into the mid lane. Almost no turret damage on Lissandra's turret.
Not relieving any pressure. Crown's held up to the matchup quite nicely. He's gotten out of his lane several times as well to help out the squad. As they now go for Baron pressure, of course, you mentioned that's been spawned.
So be it.
24 minutes into the game now already. Is top shuttle going to be there easily enough? And you can see what Samsung Galaxy wants for the lane assignments now. We've got the power play. Keeps as powerful needs to be. This is only green skies from here on forward for the Tristana player. Kralis does have Rage Blade, but still no Hurricane for the triple melee. Not just yet anyway.
Pandemonium
getting some damage onto the outer turret. They're happy to surrender ground. Giving away an outer turret by no means is a big deal.
Maybe they can get the mid lane taking a couple hundred health as well. Maybe Longview can start to find the split push power. You're seeing, of course, Crown top lane uncontested himself. Sacrifice his minions for that red turret. Khan hoping to push back Kube. It's going to be a bit close. Hasn't popped result yet. Can't really go for the all-in, no stun to be had, but again, Crown getting complete alone time top lane, meaning taking the long road over as the turret's taking 4 and 4 damage, and the minions are dying with no golden experience gained at all.
Media has been continually had to give ground here. Crown just running over the map. Vision now also invading on red side, and it might actually find each other.
You're back up though, so for now, Longzhu are still stunted. You see Prey still in mid lane. Don't have a Hurricane complete still, went for Wit's End. And the Rage Blade still fiercely single targeting, so shoving advantage for multiple members on Samsung on the Baron.
I leave nasty
The
scars.
advantage, honestly, teleport seems to be just faster to use than Weaver's Wall, which BDD's only really used to keep his team alive and stop the chase. But now Khan has gotten into the mid lane and ulti coming across the trade of them. The ultimate comes in only for a moment. Now they're re-engaged on Nakash. He's going to get low, but Pop Guild stay alive a little bit longer. They want to grill and chomp down, and that is a dead Rakan. The flash forward, the taunt is in. They're going to get the next one as Prey is going to fall as well. The chase continues for Ruler, getting a double for the Tristana, and Kube gets the kill on top of this one, 4 for 0.
4 clean kills here for Samsung, and that will be Baron as the reward as well. This was a multi-man flank. Ambition was coming from behind the members of Longzhu, and they immediately make the call. Teleport in. Stand United goes, and Samsung cleans up.
It was a multi-step plan. They have been able to pull off flawlessly today. They had just taken over red side's control. Suddenly Ambition's behind. The kills are confirmed. BDD can only watch in horror as the team goes down, and they'll hear that blood-curdling sound of Baron dying again.
And the rope is getting shorter, the fuse burning down. This game soon to explode, 7,000 up, and you can watch this fight again. Khan cannot get enough done.
See how clogged all the members are of Longzhu compared to so many options, so much control of the top side. BDD rides in, but fights almost always done.
Yeah, Longzhu, I mean, they made the call for Khan to come here with the fight. He's actually the one that started out. But Samsung, they were already deep in enemy territory, as you said. Ambition was in the red quadrant, and they immediately reacted with the Stand United and the teleport. They were just waiting for this. It was kind of the dream for them to start out the fight this way, and they picked Longzhu apart. BDD is the top side, nowhere to be found. Now, here come the Baron dub. Samsung got
close to the almost brought it through, but not quite enough. Now BDD cleanses away, just barely stays alive. Will there be a re-engage? Khan getting lower and lower on how that happens. Peter gets guilty across the this time. Nice re-engage from Gorilla, but Prey so low he can barely even auto-attack. And no kills to be had, and not enough meaningful damage. His mid lane will still fall, despite Longzhu's best effort.
How can he keep fighting as the gold medals are so low for Longzhu for the items there? Keep build onto the side of Prey. They keep forcing forward. They keep taking objectives. They're going to happily cut to the bot side. Make another tower.
No defense to be had. Kube and Ruler going to make these attacks land. Explosive charge to hit there, and there we go. 5-2 and turrets, the 2-0 on Drakes as the Baron buff continues to push in as mid lane also under fire. So it's not going to find anything.
So many people were not. Well, Ambition actually has got everyone after him.
He's got no flash. There's the knock. This could be enough to get one kill, but it would only be the second kill of the entire game because bot lane is still under fire. So though Prey gets his first kill, the inhibitor likely to fall. 5v4, teleport flank comes in for Khan. This is the big play that Longzhu needs.
They're trying to chain together the kills here. BDD has his ultimate as well for Talia.
And Khan's in this mix. Can they get Ruler gets over the wall? He's safe for this one. Kube might not be so lucky, but he jumps across as well. Maybe Corey J, the one sacrifice. He does not have flash, but to only get a single kill is not enough for Longzhu.
Again, the Baron buff here. Crowd pushing on top side. They get another turret. And even though Longzhu chased down 2 kills, it is just a drop in the bucket.
Longzhu were the proactive team that always forced their enemies to trade down. They were the team that would get the vision forward and profit from the vision. But they have played this series in darkness. And Samsung Galaxy, who in many games I would watch, would never put together any forward vision, have owned the vision battle and kept Longzhu just clumped together, hoping for the best.
Good killer here for Khan. And they are able to chase it down, but as you point out, on the map here, you see this great work in inhibitor turret. Baron buff on those 3 members. We're trying to rapidly able to take those structures. And then again, as you know, the teleport is falling.
Buff falling from behind is very different from buff falling from behind. You see the veteran squads like SSG and Samsung make things happen in longer games. When you're ahead, it's very easy to pull. That's very easy to choose where the battlefield will be. They haven't been able to choose almost anything this series, Longzhu Gaming, and that's where some of the things we didn't see for the group stage, even for the LCK, is creeping in to the side of Longzhu.
We have to revisit all of the predictions. So many people are already getting excited and predicting them to be able to knock over SK Telecom.
Can they win Worlds undefeated? No, certainly not the case anymore, of course, but you're right. That was the suspicion coming in. Longzhu, they win the LCK. Maybe they're the best team in the world. They're the pre-tournament favorites. Samsung Galaxy making them look nothing like that. The stun on the front line to follow up, not quite there, but the turret to fall.
The prediction for Longzhu to win was the one everyone made, and what we saw at Worlds, it was the right one. But this Samsung that creeps in for the big matches, that was on display against SKT after Rift Rivals, against KT Rolster, when they were the first to run Barrier Heal Archer Sensor in Korea. They very periodically have these reads when they need to, and this is the result.
Here they go, caught outside in enemy territory.
Damage out of mission, stuns have already been used. The ulti's on cooldown by now, down to 1,000 HP. A flash to get some of the people pushed around. Khan stun up, flashing away from the Taric. The re-engage, they're gonna find Kube. A bit of damage, he's gonna go back to safety. A triple knockup for Gorilla. Is this the fight? BDD gets one. They're gonna find a second now for number 3. Can they force Samsung out? Of course, the junglers there, but there's no major objective to take. It's only farm for Longzhu.
But Longzhu buy themselves some time, some much needed time here as they return to their base in ruins.
Will not find objectives, but the game, the series will not end here. Big seismic shove from BDD partway through this. At the start, when they were wailing away on a mission, looking all a bit sad.
Will not
so
find
damn tanky at this
objectives,
point.
but the game,
Surely
the
nothing can
series
happen.
will not
These Korean
end here.
teams,
Big
their seismic shove from
Not many
BDD
options for
partway
Longzhu,
through
so they've
this.
gotta
At the
take
start,
this
when they were
opening.
wailing
They
away on
return
a
to their
mission,
base
looking
in
all a
ruins
bit
on the
sad.
outside
So
line.
damn
Then
tanky at this
very
point.
close
Surely
at the
nothing
start
can
of
happen.
this,
Will
and
these
once
Korean
Gorilla
teams,
sees
their
this
seismic
opening,
shove
the
from
three
BDD
major
partway
combos
through
there.
this.
Gotta
At the
take
start, when they
this
were wailing
opening.
away
They
on a
return to their
mission,
base in
and
ruins
the
on
rest
the
that
outside
so
line.
damn
Then
tanky at this
objectives
point.
very
Surely
close.
series will
Once
not
Gorilla
end.
sees this opening,